All right, so we are live for the first episode of the Purely Atriel podcast. And today I have Mr. Papa Superheart. You may all know from
Hi, y'all.
the Dancing Grandpa videos, Who Killed Tanner Lewis, and my very first video on YouTube. And I don't think I'd have a YouTube channel without him. So give a round of applause to my grandfather. And today will be the first episode of my podcast. It's going to be a little shorter because I am on a time crunch. However, we will get into a bunch of multiple different topics, and if you want to be here, just click in. So.
Well, I thought that was well done. And we would like to thank everybody that's looking at our podcast today. I don't even know what a podcast is, but I'm taking part in it. So, we'll go on.
So,
what would you like to know?
Well, obviously the world has changed a lot over the years. And I feel like things are not how they used to be, per se.
Well, there's an old saying, I don't know when it started. Can't tell you all that, but it's said that the more things change, excuse me, the more they stay the same. And I don't know whether you can say that's truly true, or whether you can say that's just a bunch of bunk, because the world itself has changed, and some of the people in this world have changed, but I still believe that most of the people in this world are hardworking, want to take care of their wife and kids, want to have some kind of roof over their head, want to have some kind of transportation that will get them from point A to point B, like to play family games, like to get together with family, excuse me, 2 or 3 times a year. And in that respect, things have changed. And it's like the 50s. That's the last great decade that I've had anything to do with. But there was too much discrimination. 50s were very quiet, coming out of a war, people wanted to get things done. They were happy. They were glad things were looking up and taking a positive movement. And that's just not what's going on today. This is a very angry world. It's a very world where the haters and people that want to cause trouble can take all the headlines away from the hardworking people. It's not right, but it goes on every day. So we're going to try to make this a positive podcast.
Oh, yeah.
But we're also going to try to point out that humanity itself is the stupidest thing on this planet. There is not anything in its league. So where you want to go from here, my young man?
Well, I think that captures basically what exactly what I was talking about. And yes, there's a lot of hate in the world. Trust me, I've had my fair dip in it. But I think that this podcast should be something that gets positive attention out there in the world, but also getting into these topics. I feel like, there's a lot there's a lot of sexualization going on in the world, not just the politicalness of it all, but there's a lot of just unnecessary sexualization and sexual orientation that never really was public before, and everything's just now out there. Everybody and their brother knows about it, and
Well, there's an odd way of saying this, but it happens to be what the deal is. And the deal is without sex, there wouldn't be any people.
Well, yeah, of course.
And so what has happened over time is women have not been able to be treated as equals. And men have been perpetrating this. It's not the women. The women of this country could decide on what two candidates they wanted to back in the female world, go to the polls and vote for those two women, and the men might as well not even go to the polls. Well, that's, one of the interesting facets that's not happening. Women have not done that yet. It would probably be, this is probably the only power in the Western world that I know of that's never had a woman president. And here we are saying we're the greatest country in the world. Well, that to me is very debatable to start with. Because do we do great things? Oh yeah. We do great things. Do we do some things that are questionable? Yeah. We do things that are very questionable. Do we do terrible things? Yeah, we do terrible things. We're humans. This is the way humans operate. What is going on is that being in the oligopoly that we are, and people really don't understand, Atriel, that particular word. Is an oligopoly is a society that is based on the interest and the power and the glory and the coming of the Lord. Special interest groups are basically what run this country. An average citizen who's working 80 hours a week, who's trying to take care of his family or her family. There's a lot of single moms out there. They really, other than their vote, have no say in the situation because they're not running around in the little dome of which runs this country. I mean, I believe, Atriel, I really believe this. I believe that if
I
you
believe
put
this too.
the 535 members of Congress outside on a beach down here on Jekyll Island, Georgia, and said to them what color the sky was, you couldn't get two of the same answer. And nobody would say that the sky was blue.
Oh, the sky is blue. No, the sky is it's purple.
So,
it's gotta be red. It's gotta be green. No. But the ground is green. No, the ground is blue, but the sky is green. No.
Well, that was a very good rendition of whoever. I don't know who, but that was a very good rendition. And so what we're dealing with today, though, is something that I never had to deal with. I mean, I used to say that, we were going to do this and we were going to do that and we were going to do this because, people have imaginations. And a lot of the stuff that, park your own, you can park a car can park its own self now. And, you can communicate with somebody thousands of miles away from you with the touch of a keypad. And these are things that are not really, they help. There's a lot of things that they can help. They help in medical care. They help in somebody being located. There's a lot of positive things, but they are caused at the detriment words like frustration.
Society in general.
I can't get my phone to do this and I can't get my computer to do that. And in the middle of me writing something important, it decides to go down the third baseline and I'm over here on the first baseline. And I don't even know how to get it back to the first baseline. And the intelligence that they're, obviously working on feverishly during every hour of the day. When you place a computer-driven AI, I guess that's what you call it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Online of a place, of a business that has multi employees, 51 of those employees are going to be put out of a job because the company doesn't need them anymore because this AI can do everything that it needs to do.
And there's AI.
What are humans going to do in the future if this is all done by machinery? I mean, what is a human going to do? They're going to be owned by these machines? Are they going to have to bow down in supplication? I mean, I find it very interesting.
Oh, yeah.
That you kids, you have a 4-year-old brother.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he knows how to do a computer.
He knows how to work my phone almost better than me.
See? Now, why is it that that's more important to him than being outside, running around? After school, when I was growing up in the 50s and the 60s, we went out and played touch football. Do any of you kids out there even know anything about touch football?
Probably not.
I didn't hear anybody tell me that they did, so I'm going to take it that you don't. I'm sorry that you don't know anything about touch football. I didn't play football in high school or college or anywhere else. I played a friendly game of it. Oh, in the afternoons that it rained, we would go and play things like hearts, things like canasta, things like dominoes, things like rook. I need somebody out there to tell me if they even know how to spell those names because, gee, money Christmas, that's something you have to sit down and be with other people. Uh-oh, that's trouble. That is big trouble because you're taking me away from the dominant thing in my life,
and the dominant
which is the technology. And if you want to do that, be my guest. But I'd really prefer not to live next door to you or in the same house with you because I'm trying to learn stuff. I'm 78 years old and I'm still learning stuff. And I'm not trying to learn it. I've got a degree. There's people have better degrees and bigger degrees and this and that and the other than I do. But I have something called street smarts. And that counts in my mind way more than a PhD.
Oh, yeah.
Because a PhD is limited to what they know about what they know. And it's just, it's becoming the kind of world that it's hard to do the right thing anymore because the right thing ain't necessarily the right thing to do anymore. Oh, no. And that's a terrible indictment on where we're heading. And if we're heading that way because nobody's trying to
fix it,
to take it in another direction. I can't by myself do anything about it. So that's that. What's next?
Well, I think, in my opinion, that is a great starter to a first episode and to many more to come. But I think that wraps up this episode here. And usually these episodes will be longer. But
I have to go to my job.
I have to go to my job. I'm a hardworking American citizen, and I'd like to take care of myself and one day put my mother in a nicer house. And I'd like to take care of myself and my mother and whatever wife I may have going forward in the future. So I've got to go, but I will see you next week with a brand new episode of Purely Atriel. And
I was going to say that those of you out there are going to politicize this.
oh yeah,
And you're going to assume that my grandson and possibly myself are conservatives. See, because everybody's got to get labeled.
mm-hmm.
And getting labeled, you can label me, whatever you want to label me.
It's not like we care.
I have ideas that sometimes are on the left and sometimes they're on the right. That's why I'm not a member of a political party. These two political parties are very dangerous. They're impeding humanity in this country, and it's something that you've got to take away from the haters. That's who is causing all the trouble in this country.
Most
is the
definitely.
haters, and they come in all colors. Remember that I said all colors. They come in all sizes. They come in all forms. And the one thing they have in common is they hate anything that's successful. When Walmart came into being, I don't really remember if it's 40 years, if it's 30 years. You know, when you get to be my age, years are just years. But everybody wanted to emulate Walmart because of their success. They were a successful company. How did they become such a success? In the interim period of time, during this time that Walmart has existed, we have gone from that to now Walmart's taking all the jobs in the small towns, which is a bunch of rats, and that they're just, making too much money. Well, that's a bunch of rats because they're paying all their employees. They've got their full-time employees
on fair pay too.
On retirement programs. They allow them to buy stock in Walmart, and so they have ownership in the company, and you got people that don't want Walmart to succeed. So where are you gonna go to buy your stuff if Walmart ain't there? I mean, there are other places you can shop for sure, but if Walmart can't make it, how's Publix gonna make it? How's Winn-Dixie gonna make it? How is
Target gonna make it?
How's Target gonna make it? How
Hobby Lobby.
is all these businesses going to make it if the haters are trying to tear up every bit of it?
Oh yeah.
So, we'll see you next week.
Yes.
We just wanted to give you some stuff to cogitate on.
Oh yeah.
For those of y'all that can't spell cogitate, I can't either. So there you have it. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching. And next week we will discuss sexual orientation and why it is corrupting the world. Thank you.
I didn't want you to tell them that we were talking about a certain subject, but you've done it now, so it's okay.
Alrighty. Well, no, I didn't.
You did. You said sexualization.